Well, it's time to have a look at the CPS C3 T500 ARGB case. This shipped to me from China in a wooden crate, nice and safe. Has a really heavy cardboard box protecting it. Has some good foam padding to protect it in transit. Looks great at first blush. The feet are mounted on bars that span the width of the case with some rubber bumpers at each corner. We have a magnetic dust filter for the bottom, just easily removed. The bottom is filled with good ventilation for the pre-mounted fans. Flipping it up over on the top side. Looks like we have a very similar magnetic dust filter as the bottom, with similar ventilation for the top for your fans or radiator, whatever you choose to mount there. There's an assortment of front panel ports that we'll look at a little bit closer in a moment. On the back we have our power supply, rear motherboard I/O, rear pre-mounted fan. It's got a door that covers the retention screws for the add-in cards, which is kind of neat. We'll look at that again in a moment. The rear panel has good ventilation for the fans and the power supply. There's an L bracket with a thumb screw and a rubber pad on the L bracket to protect the case from scratching. If you're going to be moving your case around, I would recommend keeping that on there. If not, you could leave it off, I suppose. So the back panel snaps on by pushing a tab out and releasing it, and then you just simply lift it up off the bottom flange. We can see that it has some alignment pins and ball sockets to snap it into the case. On each side have similar magnetic filters for the rear fans and as well as the power supply. All of our cables are white, which is a nice touch. We have, it looks like a fan hub at the bottom and an RGB hub as well. Nice touch. Looks like our screws and hardware are inside of a box in the drive tray. So we've got some screws and some zip ties in there. Looks like the user guide or installation manual is in here as well. That's about it. With everything being mostly pre-installed with the fans and the hub, there's not a whole lot of hardware to include in there. It's got some pictures showing how to take things apart that are demonstrated here. So the front glass is held on with a similar L bracket. So I would recommend keeping that on if you're moving your case around much. Simply push the tab at the rear and unsnap the glass. Lift it up off the bottom, and you can see the same type of alignment pins and snaps that go into the case. So the alignment pins fit into holes in the case, and then those buttons fit into sockets. The bottom flange of the case fits over that lip. Very simple installation, and it's really nice that the glass is clear without a tint. So our motherboard tray accommodates the new types of motherboards that are coming out with the rear facing ports. If you're into that, it has lots of space at the top for a radiator and fans without having to worry about it hitting your VRM heat sinks. The front glass is held on with screws at the bottom and at the top should you need to remove the front glass for any reason. The rear I/O, the slots bracket sticks out the back with access to the screws, which makes it easier than fitting in between the rear panel and a GPU. So if we look at the bottom fans, we notice that they're reverse fans, which is a nice touch. Has a rear exhaust fan. Then we have a Type C, 2 additional USB 3, a combo mic headphone jack, LED button, and power button. So that's it. Let's head on back over to the review.